Hey, what is up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Sports Stuff. Today, I'm going to be talking about team stocks I am buying, holding, and selling. Now, there's going to be five teams from both the AFC and the NFC that I'll be choosing, like which ones I'm going to hold, sell, and buy. So let's start with the NFC. Team stocks I am selling. I am selling the Green Bay Packers. Yes, I know people are going to call me crazy, but I'm not a huge fan of Aaron Rodgers. I've actually always hated Aaron Rodgers. So now that he's actually on a decline, I'm very happy. I've always thought he was overrated, but like now we can actually see in real time how overrated he's becoming. But in general, I just think the Packers lost too much and then they didn't gain enough. Like they lost Brian Bulaga to the Arizona Cardinals. They lost Blake Martinez, who is one of the most overrated middle linebackers, but he still tackled a lot. They lost him to the Giants. They signed Christian Kirksey, who I like. You know, he's a former Brown, but sadly he just is never healthy. The last 2 years he's been injured, and we paid him like $20 million in general from the Browns. So I'm happy we moved on from him, even though he was a great locker room guy. He's too injury prone. It's hard for me to say that, but he is. I just in their secondary is around the same, but I just feel because of Aaron Rodgers, because last year Aaron Rodgers declined again, and they haven't. The best wide receiver they have is Devontae Adams, and number two is still empty. They did sign Devin Funchess to a 1 year, I think, 5 mil contract for 1 year as your number two. So unless in the first round they pick someone like a like a Henry Ruggs or a who's my third? I can't think of his name. CeeDee Lamb, Jerry Jeudy, Henry Ruggs, Laviska Shenault, uh, the LSU wide receiver. I can't think of his name right now. But unless they pick up a wide receiver in the first round, which I don't think they will, because they need to fix their defensive line, I just don't. I can't buy this offense still. You can't rely on Aaron Jones and Devontae Adams yet again. When last season we saw what happened, they were easily stopped in the playoffs because their run defense was so bad. They haven't fixed their defensive line. They let up like 180 yards from the 49ers in the championship game. They let up over almost 200 yards. That's not good. And then their offense wasn't able to produce as they wanted to. So they haven't fixed the defensive line, haven't touched it yet, and they lost their number one tackler. And then they haven't fixed the offense, which is a big problem. So I'm selling their stock. Teams I'm holding on the Chicago Bears, and I'm also holding on the Rams. Uh, the Rams I feel lost a lot, but with Sean McVay and just his scheme in general, they have Aaron Donald and Jalen Ramsey. They lost so much, but I just believe in their head coach and the individual pieces they have. And I think they'll still go around 8-8, 7-9. So I'm not selling them because I don't think they're gonna go. How I'm doing selling is if they had a good season and they're gonna go bad, or they had a bad season and they're gonna be the number one pick. I think they're gonna stay stagnant to 7-9 to 9-7, but I think it's 8-8 is gonna be a very good middle ground of where they're gonna be. And for the Bears, it's just their team is so good, but they're hindered by Mitchell Trubisky. The coaching is hindered by Mitchell Trubisky. The play calling is hindered by Mitchell Trubisky. So if Nick Foles beats out Trubisky in the quarterback battle in training camp, I'm good. If Nick Foles is their starter, I'm going to buy their stock. I think they'll go 11-5, 12-4 because Nick Foles is automatically better than Trubisky, and that's been their problem is their quarterback. So if you're going to get a quarterback that's better than your current one, that means you'll win more games. Because they went 8-8. They went 8-8 this season with Trubisky. They could have easily gone 10-6, 11-5 without Trubisky. So I'm holding on the Bears and I'm holding on the Rams because the Rams I don't think are going to significantly lose or drop from their last record. I think the Bears can get better with Foles, but if they stay with Trubisky, I think I'll hold. They'll probably go 8-8 again. That's their ceiling. Now stocks I'm buying. This is gonna be crazy. I know. I know. I'm gonna say it. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That's my first team I'm buying. They had the best offseason. They got Tom Brady. I understand that like that's only one player they got. They also got Shaquille Barrett on a franchise tag. They got Ndamukong Suh back. They got JPP on a really cheap 2 year deal. They still got Devin White. They got a first round pick at number 14 where they can get an offensive lineman or they can trade up for an offensive lineman because they have the firepower to do that. Um, I think they still need a third wide receiver. You know, they got Mike Evans, they got Chris Godwin. I think a third wide receiver, because they let Brashad Perriman go, would make that offense lethal. They got Cameron Brates and O.J. Howard at tight end, and running back, you know, in Bruce Arians' scheme, running back isn't the most important thing, but I think they're going to get a good running back eventually. I'm just really excited to watch the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Their defense is going to get better. Their offense is going to get better. This is a Super Bowl contending team now, just with entering a quarterback who didn't have 40 turnover-worthy plays. Because Jameis Winston had 40 turnover-worthy plays last season, and 30 of them were interceptions. That means 10 of them were interceptions that were dropped. He could have had a 30-40 season, but he had a 30-30. Tom Brady hasn't thrown 20 interceptions since 2012. That's the kind of production you're getting in a Bruce Arians offense with Tom Brady. He's not going to throw more than 20 interceptions. My lord, I'm sorry. I'm stumbling. What I really want to see, though, is Tom Brady without Bill Belichick. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers is a great team with Bruce Arians, and if Tom Brady can carry them to the playoffs and maybe even the Super Bowl this year, I think that cements his legacy without Belichick as the greatest quarterback of all time, which I think he is. But they'll like cement without anyone disagreeing, because he did it without Bill Belichick. He did it with a completely different team, and it just cements his legacy. The other NFC team I'm buying, there's a list of two I'm kind of debating. I'm gonna say the Falcons. I think the Falcons are gonna be my fifth team. They have a lot of promise. They have, they got Todd Gurley. They got what's his name? Hayden Hurst from the Ravens. So he's gonna be a cheap tight end for the next 2 or 3 years. They got a really good running back for 1 year. Matt Ryan has an entire offense of first-round picks to play with. Their defense, I feel, got better. They let go of all the bad pieces, and they kept the good ones, and they still got the draft where they have a lot of picks. I think the Falcons can do good. They went 7-9 last season. I think they can probably go 10-6, 9-7, which is obviously an improvement. So I'm gonna buy them. And for the AFC teams, I am selling. This is hard. I was thinking the Patriots, but I think they're gonna hold. No, I'm gonna say the Patriots. I'm selling. They're my first team. I'm selling. They went 12-4. I think their top is 10-6. I think 10-6 is their ceiling. I believe in Jarrett Stidham. I believe that Bill Belichick can also sign Cam Newton at any moment. He can draft Jordan Love if he moves up. I think they had the firepower to have any quarterback for the most part succeed in their offense. And I'm excited. I'm really excited to see, no Tom Brady. What is this team without number 12 at the helm? Got Jarrett Stidham, got Brian Hoyer. You could draft Jordan Love or Justin Herbert, whatever one, not Justin Herbert, Jacob Eason, whatever one, is still there, or if they want to move up a little bit. They also could just sign Cam Newton right now if they wanted to. But I'm excited, to see Bill Belichick without Tom Brady, because before Tom Brady, he didn't have that great of a track record. He got ran out of Cleveland, which is saying something, just saying. As a Cleveland fan, that's saying something. But I'm excited, I'm going to sell them only because I know their stock is going to go down. Because right now their stock is 12-4. I think 10-6 is their ceiling. Teams I'm holding on. The Jets are definitely one. I'm going to hold on the Steelers. I'm going to hold on the Colts. So Colts, Jets, and Steelers. These are all three teams that have two of them have very veteran quarterbacks, and then the Jets, I just don't think they're good enough to buy or sell. I think they could be middle of the pack. But the Colts, I need to see Phillip Rivers. If Phillip Rivers can keep his interceptions under 20, I think that means they're in the playoffs. And with the Steelers, if Big Ben can throw over 30 touchdowns, I think that means they're in the playoffs. The problem with the Steelers, they lost Ramon Foster to free agency. They lost Marcus Gilbert. It's just their offense. Their offensive line is in shambles. Juju, in my eyes, still hasn't proven he's a number one wide receiver, getting open constantly. Luckily, he got injured this season, so that means that he can use the excuse of, I was injured the entire season, so why his production didn't match a number one receiver, and why it went down from the year before when he had AB as the number one receiver and he was the number two. He's lucky he can use the injury to cover up his bad season. I just need to see the Steelers' offense. I know their defense is gonna be lights out, spectacular. I'm okay with that. If I knew that their offense is gonna be a top 16 and their defense was gonna be exact as last season, I'd say they're in the playoffs. But I gotta see Big Ben and Juju both come back from injury and play at their potential. And then for the Colts, I need to see Phillip Rivers not be a turnover machine, not forcing throws. And if the Colts can get a number one receiver alongside T.Y. Hilton, alongside Paris Campbell, I'd be pretty happy. I just think that offense needs another spark in the wide receiver room. I just need to see Phillip Rivers just play better, I guess, in general. And then for the Jets, it's just they're not that good. They're just not good. It's fine. I don't think they're gonna drastically lose more games, but I don't think they're gonna drastically win more games either. So I'm just gonna hold on to them. And the team I'm buying from the AFC, the one team I'm buying, going from good to spectacular, is the Buffalo Bills. That's right, the Buffalo Bills will be the number 2 seed in the AFC over the Baltimore Ravens. You want to know why? Josh Allen. I believe in Josh Allen with no ceiling. This kid is insane. He got Stephon Diggs, he got John Brown, and what's his name? Cole Beasley. That's his name, Cole Beasley. Devin Singletary. I think they'll draft another running back in the 3rd or 4th round to complement him. Their defense is lights out. If they can get Yannick Ngakoue, which I think they can get him. If they say a 2021 first round pick and like a 3rd round pick from this year, I think they can get Yannick Ngakoue from the Jags and sign him. They just need another pass rusher, and they're good. If they get a pass rusher in the draft or through trade for Yannick Ngakoue, and Josh Allen can take the next step, this team is in contention for the number 1 seed in the AFC. It'll be them, the Ravens, and the Chiefs. Those are the 3 best teams. If Josh Allen can, take another step, and if they can get a pass rusher of good quality, either from the draft or from the trade, which I don't know what's gonna happen. Maybe the Bills are gonna bust, but I am buying 100% that the Buffalo Bills will be the number 2 seed in the AFC at, I'd say at minimum they're the number 3 seed. But I'm saying at maximum they're the 1st seed. Because I think them and the Chiefs are going to fight it for the number 1 seed most of the time. But I know they can beat the Ravens out. They're going to beat the Ravens out. If when it comes down to it, I think it'll be Chiefs, Bills, Ravens, 1, 2, 3. That's how much potential the Bills have. If they can get a star pass rusher in Yannick Ngakoue, or a Curtis Weaver, or AJ Epinesa, or the Aquara kid. I can't remember his first name. Is it Julian Aquara? Whoever Aquara is in the 2nd round, who I have as a 1st round talent, only dropping because of his combine. If they can get a star pass rusher through trade or draft, and Josh Allen can, take the next step, they're number 2 seed bounds. They're much better than the Ravens in my eyes. It's not clearly because of Lamar's, I'm not gonna say inability, but they only threw 115 times to wide receivers last season, far fewest in the NFL. That's showing to me that either they don't believe in Lamar's throwing skill yet, and they're trying to cover it up with their run game and just the quick screens to tight ends, or if that's just the system they want to run. Either way, I don't like it. I hope that this season they actually take the time to throw to the wide receivers, because you can get a starting quality wide receiver in the 3rd round, and I think they can probably find a 3rd round receiver who's better than their entire wide receiver core besides Marquise Brown. But I'm definitely gonna buy the Bills. It's the Bills I'm buying. They're gonna go from 10-6 or whatever they were in 11-5, 10-6 to 14-2, 13-3, 12-4. They're gonna be the number 2 seed. I'm buying their stock 100%. So the teams I'm gonna be buying, selling, and holding from the NFC is the Falcons, the Bears, the Packers, the Bucks. What was the other team? Packers, Bears, Bucks. NFC, and the Rams. Then from the AFC, the Pats, I'm selling. The Jets, I'm holding. Steelers and Colts, I'm holding. And the Bills, I am buying 100%. My dark horse for the playoffs this season for the AFC is the Denver Broncos. And my dark horse for the NFC, I'm gonna go with the Arizona Cardinals. I think the Cardinals can make it in as a 7th seed or as a 6th seed, but that's gonna be a hard division to win in. That's the problem. Is that it's such a stacked division. But if you guys did enjoy this episode of buying, selling, and holding of team stocks, please consider subscribing. Hopefully y'all enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.